Hi there, welcome to one more video here on managing the WooCommerce settings in the Trillium store. So right now we've gone through all the products. We're going to click on the WooCommerce dashboard here, which is different than our normal dashboard. And when it loads up, it's going to give us kind of some reports on our sales. So it'll show you total sales and orders and items sold. It'll give you a lot of information that may or may not be helpful to you. You can also go directly to orders. And so these orders, it's important that we follow up with all of these because we do have a way to mark these as being complete. And so you click on an individual order, and one of the things you can do is you can change the status. So pending is before you get your process sent, or you get your payment sent to processing. And then the processing means that the payments generally come through. But you want to confirm on your side that you got the payment. And then you can come in here and you can change the status from processing to completed once someone has picked up their order. So that's kind of the important distinction here, is that all these should be processing until they receive that. So you don't have to do this right away, as long as you're tracking the orders as they come in and you are getting kind of corresponding notices from PayPal saying, hey, you received payment. Then there's not much else you need to do. You see here, this IPN payment completed. This is a ping back from PayPal that says, yep, we got the payment. So at that point, you should be receiving the email from the system saying, hey, you've got an order, and an email from PayPal saying, hey, you've got some money. So you shouldn't have to manage these things, but it is here to help you keep track of all the orders that come in. So when you come into an individual order, there is one additional feature that you might be doing here, which is refunding people. So if they end up not picking this up, you can just click refund, and that should push the refund back through PayPal. The first time you do it, it'll be a bit of a learning experience. If you have any problems, let me know. But by and large, all that you're going to need to do for managing orders is marking them as complete after you deliver them to the customer, or choosing to refund them. You can also do partial refunds. I won't get into that. You shouldn't really have a reason to do that. You can always do a partial refund through PayPal as well without doing it in here, or you can manage it in another way. So I'm not going to get into the details of that. Okay, so that's our order section here. You might see something get stuck as pending payment. That means that the payment process was abandoned halfway through with PayPal, so you have not received payment, so you don't want to deliver that order. You can follow up with the person who placed it to say, oh, did you have problems? Can I help you? But by and large, these are going to be people who change their mind once they got into the payment process. The coupon section here, shouldn't need to make any changes to this, but just in case you need to, we have our BBGS member 10 discount. We go to edit this, we can see that there is a percentage discount set to 10 or 10%, and there's lots of limits and restrictions, like who can use it, how many times, and how long is this good for. You can set an expiration and change this every year just so it doesn't get abused, and any changes you make, you click update. You can also add new ones to the system. You can see how simple this process is. You want to offer people $5 off a particular product. That's something you can do on the usage restrictions by applying it to one specific product as well. Lots of options on how to use that. Okay. We have customers and reports. I'm not going to get much into that. You can click around and explore, but settings is something that's pretty important. Once again, you shouldn't need to change anything here, but knowing where it's controlled is important. So our settings section has some of our important identifying information about the store and some of the different features, like we're using tax, we're using coupon codes, and that turns on and off functionality in the back end of the website here. So we'll notice we have the shipping section here. We have it set to local pickup as the only methods. We have our tax section here. We have said that we want to use tax, and we're going to set our standard rates, and our standard rate is 10%. And in our tax options, we've said that we're calculating tax based on the store location rather than the user location, because that's typically how you report your taxes, being a brick and mortar store, having that one location. If you expand into further online sales, shipping, say out of state, then you're going to definitely want to adjust how taxes are calculated. Okay, let's go to the product section here. You have some different features on how products are treated, and then important thing we wanted to show you is inventory. So right now we are not enabling the management of stock. I've explained this a few different times, so this is just to show you if you need to turn on the stock management feature, you would turn it on here, and then it would be managed product by product. And then you have some features. If something goes out of stock, hide it from the catalog as opposed to showing out of stock. So for right now, we are not managing stock, and therefore these features should be turned off as well. Payment section is where we define our payment gateways. Currently, we are only allowing payment via PayPal and credit card, and PayPal is handling the credit card payments for us. There are different ways to manage this in the future. A lot of them come with additional charges. These, however, do not. If you want to allow people to select that they're going to pay by check or cash on delivery, that is definitely an option. It just opens itself up to confusion and mistakes if you're not managing that carefully. So for right now, this is the simple approach. This is how most stores are managed. So that's all we're currently allowing. There are, as I said, different options, different payment gateways that aren't PayPal. If for some reason you wanted to add those in the future, that's something that I would set up for you. I'm going to skip accounts and go to emails. These emails are what get sent during different parts of the order process. So a new order is sent to you as soon as it is submitted. A canceled order, if someone cancels that, and as soon as they place it, it will also send an email to you. A failed order should be sent to you. The failed order feature is not great. It works better with different payment gateways than PayPal. As you've seen, like most of these get stuck at processing or pending payment as opposed to going to failed. Generally, if you mark something as failed, say a manager marks it as failed, then it would generate the email to whoever you want in case there's multiple people in the system that need to be notified. For right now, you probably won't be receiving those emails unless you manually mark that order as failed. Order on hold is something that would go back to the customer after you choose to change the status to on hold based on something you need to figure out. So you probably won't use that. Processing order is the first email back to the customer after they place the order. And then there's a completed order option here that we've turned off because you will have direct interaction with the customer when the order is completed as they pick it up. But if you were shipping the order, that is something that this would be used for, is to let people know, hey, we have received your order, we have fulfilled your order, and it's on the way to you. And that's what you would put in this email. We also have a refund note. You can send a customer note, and then these are emails related to the customer's accounts. Any one of these, say this email is the biggest one that you want to manage, the processing order. You can click manage, and you can enable it or disable it, and then you can add your notes here about what you want to say to people. So they're receiving the email from you so they can respond to you, and you don't really need to add anything about your email address in here, but this note about how they are going to be contacted to arrange for curbside pickup is very helpful in that order. You can add more information to that if you think you need to. Okay, that's pretty much it for the settings on the back end of the website. If you run into any additional questions, be sure to let me know.